Matrescence Memoirs. Here I share with you women's motherhood journeys as they navigate modern motherhood and use matrescence and its wisdom to help guide them, with the aim to experience motherhood on their own terms. Matrescence, like adolescence, should be a normalised part of motherhood. It is the acknowledgement that motherhood is a period of transition in a woman's life, with highs, lows, and a period of unravelling of who she thought she was and who she is becoming. It is an opportunity for personal growth like no other in a woman's life, is non-linear, and happens with every child that she has. I'm Sandra from Embrace Motherhood, and today I share with you my matrescence memoir. I'm a mum of two beautiful girls born 18 months apart. They are now 1 and 2. And I've gone from corporate project manager to full-time mum. So let's get started. The first question I have is, what did your early motherhood look like? And mine was filled with the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. So I was so in love with my new baby and my partner and the family that we'd created. I was proud to be a mum, but after a period of time, I started to feel tired, lonely, and quite isolated. I had great support from my parents, my partner, and my in-laws, but the gap between my old life and this new motherhood was huge. I questioned everything. I didn't trust my intuition when it came to my baby. Google was my best friend, but it never had the right answer. And that really bothered me because I was a perfectionist. I needed the right answer. Another thing that helped me in the early days was routine. So it gave me a sense of purpose. I'd go for a walk after breakfast every day. And this one day, I have this very clear memory of an old work colleague in a work car driving past me. Now, I live in Papamoa. My office was based in Auckland, and the company also had a Rotorua office. So this was completely out of the blue. And it really hit home that I'd changed. I'd gone from this corporate career with esteem and I guess power to, at the time, what I thought was just a mum. So at this point, I sort of understood that I'd hinged so much of my identity on my career and being fit, active, and healthy, and I'd changed. So 4 months in, I had my unravelling. Now, this is a key part of anyone's matrescence journey. It's a realization that things have changed, that you've changed, and they're not really going back to the way they used to be. I finally felt comfortable to share how I was feeling with my partner. I let him know how I felt lost, that I didn't know who I was anymore, and that even though I loved and adored our daughter, I sometimes wished that it was just me and him again. I shared that I felt so conflicted with emotions that I couldn't really process them either because I was so tired. And the thing was that all I knew was control and perfectionism, and this couldn't solve what I was going through right then. It was really good because we sort of pulled together some things that helped me along the way. And for 5 months, I sort of bumbled along. I still felt lost, but things were looking better and were helping. So I had regular contact with my parents and my in-laws. I also made time for friends. We designated some money, not a lot, to spend on myself. So for new clothes and a smoothie out. I don't drink coffee. I joined a women's only gym that I'd go to once a week to get my exercise hit. And I listened to heaps of self-help and motherhood podcasts. I also took some acupuncture sessions to help to calm my nervous system. All of these things really helped. So this flows nicely into my next question, which is when you heard about matrescence for the first time, how did you feel? And this is a very clear memory. It was 9 months into my postpartum journey and days into lockdown number 1, so March 2020. And I was out for my morning walk and listening to a podcast, and there I was introduced to matrescence. When I heard the definition of matrescence, my world came back onto axis. I felt heard, I felt understood, and most importantly, I felt like I wasn't alone. Up until this point in time, I looked at all the other mums in my life and they looked like they were killing it, that they were loving mum life, and yet here I was really struggling. Now, it's important to note that I did during this time explore the potential that I had postnatal depression. I took the online test using the pada.nz website, and that confirmed what I suspected myself, which was that I was quite low risk of postnatal depression. But I really want to express that it's important that if you feel at any point that you do have postnatal depression, or you could have postnatal depression, that you're having more down days than good days, please explore that with your GP, and take the Edinburgh Postnatal Depression Scale test. The next question that I have is, in 3 words, describe yourself before kids. So for me, I was definitely a perfectionist. I was driven and highly focused. So I still had my warm nature about me, but I was definitely a lady on a mission. And then in 3 words, describe yourself now with an understanding of matrescence and a level of compassion for your motherhood journey. That would be patient, caring, and go with the flow. So I'm still driven and motivated, but I have surrendered to the uncontrollable nature that is family and family life and mothering. The next question that I have is, what is one step or tool that you'd suggest to other mums to take away today to help them in their motherhood journey? So there's quite a lot that I could say here, but I think the main thing is a level of self-compassion, to know that you're not alone, that this isn't about you, this is society setting us up to feel this way. We've been told for all our lives since little girls, thanks to feminism, that we can do it all, that we are equal to men. And in many respects we are, yet we still conceive, incubate and nurture our children. So we're in a phase of our lives where we can't do it all. We need a level of community support. We need to inwardly give ourselves self-compassion, to know the value in what mothering does and is, to know that we have an incredible amount of strength and general amazingness for the job that we are doing. And so by giving ourselves this compassion, we're processing, I guess, the acceptance and acknowledgement stage of where we are right now, rather than forcing ourselves to into the person that we once were with a kid in tow. And by giving ourselves this compassion, we are essentially allowing ourselves to move forward and to grow. And I guess that's the beauty of matrescence. The final question is, how does an understanding of matrescence continue to guide you? So the first thing is, I'm still a work in progress, and I will always be. And so with an understanding of matrescence, I know that those hard days, at the moment, they're daycare bugs and toddler tantrums, they can wash over me a lot more rather than sit with me. And I know that in those moments and at the end of the day, I've got tools in my toolbox to help ground and center me, to get me ready for the next day. And it's an understanding that matrescence is a spiral of growth, right? So those hard days, yes, they are hard, and you might feel like you're stuck or going backwards, but they are building me or you for the good days and the good times to come. And this sort of, I guess, allows me to truly experience motherhood on my own terms rather than being stuck in this burnout, overwhelm feeling that I was before. And with that, it brings me to the end of my Matrescence memoir. I've loved sharing my story with you, and I hope some of it has resonated. If it has, leave a comment or please follow me on Instagram, Facebook at Embrace Motherhood NZ. Thanks.